All right, Kenman here with an impromptu unboxing. This bag is actually a facade. I picked something up at the old Fleet Farm today, and rather than having it be an instant, here's what it is, I picked one of these bags from off the floor and threw it in there just to make it a little fun. Before we start, I'm not sponsored by anyone. I purchase everything at retail price, and I do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment below. Yep, I was out and about, stopped at Fleet Farm, kind of went through their selection. And I have a lot of these bags on the floor, so it was easy to kind of just go boom. We have a Cold Steel and bag back on the floor. We got a fun little silly one today here. A Cold Steel Tuff Lite. The old Triad Lock. The super strong Cold Steel Triad Lock. This is a... They give these away when you walk in the door. I was just kind of walking through and I was going to go check out the fishing section, and they're like, oh, hey, you knife guy, here, please take this with you. And okay, here we are. AUS 8, yeah, so that's what we're looking at. That clip can be swapped to the other side. You got your super strong Triad Lock, Griv X, Pebble, texture, grip. The Triad Lock uses a patent combination of features that responds exceptionally to both positive and negative pressures, creating one of the strongest folding knife locks available. Jeez, take it out of the box. This is extremely thick. Wow, okay. And that plastic is really thick too. Use a knife, but that is like crazy thick. I think this is the right way. Maybe. Release. That just is such thick plastic right there. I tell you what. We're going for it. Oh, that's where we needed. Remember, there's a blade right there now. That's the scary part. The blade is open inside of there, which is slightly more delicate of a feature. Oh, there it is. And we have been set free. Slightly destroyed. Box on the floor. Let's wipe this excess residue off. Check out this little thing here. What was it called again? The part that I tore. The Tuff Lite. It says right there, Tuff Lite. Cold Steel Tuff Lite. There's the Triad Lock right there. Push that, boom. Ooh, that feels solid. Can that be flicked out? It's tight. There you go. Can be Spidey flicked. That's actually a nice... It's got those 2 finger... groove spots. Hand sits right in there. Not a really large knife overall. We'll measure in a second here, but it feels good in the hand. Well, all right. So yeah, it's AUS 8, so not the greatest, kind of older steel, but you know, listen to this. Boom, slam shut. So that handle material, it's kind of like a fiberglass reinforced nylon type of a plastic material. We can wheel it out with your thumb. It is kind of stiff, but if you give it a little flick. Hear that bird? Yeah, sorry. Got distracted. This bird outside going crazy. This isn't interesting. It's very flat. You got a nice razor edge. But if you just need to do some box cutting, simple work, and you don't want to spend a lot of money, this would be right in your $20 budget range. That's supposed to be one of the strongest locks. So if you want to feel secure about your lock being solid, oh, this thing. What do we got here? Cold Steel Us 8A Taiwan Tuff Lite. A little bit of a groove in that handle there. Get a little close up. Kind of a curved shape. What do we think about these fun little budget unboxings? You enjoy them? Hit that like button. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Helps me out. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Cold Steel. I don't have much from Cold Steel, but they make some, some interesting things, some durable things. Some of their older videos, man, they make some really crazy stress test videos. We got some real big jimps right there, just a couple of them, but man, they are aggressive in a grippy way. They're not rough, they're very rounded. Is that focused? Nice rounded edge to them, so they don't feel rough or aggressive against the, it's going to scrape your thumb up, but they do feel good. That's a nice size. It fits in that hand well with those two it's kind of forcing you right there, and then your last two fingers can fit on there without a problem. I have a larger hand. There's still plenty of space. Big old lanyard type hole right there. Like I said, you can put the clip on the other side, but it is tip down carry only. So you're looking at that. Not too large. It's a smaller kind of a knife, but really when you're holding it, it feels good in the hand as far as the size. If you needed to just sit there and just hack through some boxes, this might get the job done for you. All right, well, it is solid, not moving at all. That lock is sturdy. The detent slams it in there. Boom, from way back. It's not even really a detent. That's the lock. You can see the pressure that the lock gets as it comes out and then clicks shut. And you push that in. And as you bring it shut, it pops back down. But if you get push against it there just right, you can flick it out. Not a bad little kind of backup or something, just keeping the toolbox or whatever. It's definitely more of a worker, I would say, if I was going to carry something like this. All right, so we have, there it is. Let's make a right about there. 6. If you really go for it, just a little bit more than 6. And the blade, I guess if you go to the center there, about 2.5. Cutting surface is 2 inches to that little teeny little choil spot for the sharpening. A little notch right there, but you got like a solid 2-inch cutting surface. It's just straight flat razor. And the handle could be 3 3/4 down to a little more than 3.5, so pushing 3 5/8. Smaller kind of size. Blade thickness, it is a thick, chunky, wow, I guess it's only 11 hundredths, 11 12. And the thickest part of the handle, just under 1/2 inch, 0.48. Excuse me. Let's see how much it weighs. It feels pretty light. 2.51. Compare everything with the pyrite. Pyrite is 3.67. So 2.51. Not heavy, not too large. Let's back out a little bit here and get the pyrite out. CJRB pyrite is a good mid, close to full size. I do all my comparisons with. It's definitely got it beat by a good 1/2 inch on the front and the back, maybe even a little more than that. So this one's a little bit smaller. The Tuff Lite is a smaller offering. I have a little Civivi Baby Banter. It's got the same kind of blade shape, that curve down with the flat razor surface. It's definitely a smaller knife, but if you look at that cutting surface, it's actually very close. The Tuff Lite has it beat by just a little, maybe an 1/8, but this little Wharncliffe Baby Banter, it's actually pretty cool for a little mini. It's got that same kind of thing. You get that finger choke up. It feels like it's a bigger knife even though it's smaller. Another one I have that's kind of a straight razor would be the Concept Main Street. This is definitely more of a full size, but it's got that same straight razor kind of flat cutting surface. Show off what a full size against it kind of looks like. Yeah. This is an interesting knife. Maybe one, I don't know, if I was going to get something similar though, spend twice as much, 40, 50 bucks, get a nice Kaiser Lieb like this. Button lock, a little more fidgety, a little more fun you can have with it. A little bit bigger, so I guess it depends on the size that you want to carry. There's so many good knives out there. But something like this, it's a similar because it's almost a flat, straight cut. But you have that button for a little bit easier, the flipper tab, and opening and closing it, getting it out, putting it away. This one, that some people will swear by that being the Triad being one of the strongest locks, but you kind of have to use 2 fingers. It's not really designed for flicking out like that. It's kind of more of a design for using for 2 hands, kind of doing that and then closing it as such, which there's a place for things like that. I have another one here. This is the Concept Convict, another similar kind of a lock back where it's designed, you can't flick this out really either. It's designed to be a 2-hand, but yeah, if you're interested in something like this, I got a video right there. Boom. They're fun. I try to look at a lot of different knives on the channel. Stay sharp. See you soon.